Your name is Sparrow. You live in the city of... If I could type, Nevermore. Female. Traits unlock additional paths and dialogue options. Wonder which ones would be best for the game. I don't know. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now, here you are, awake again, and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops in seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You are almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. You do your best to keep a blank face, waking up and, by extension, accidentally giving this strange man permission to keep talking to you was a mistake. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot. So I guess she really was mad, and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and geez, you ever get so mad you just want to, like, kill somebody? You smile and pretend he didn't just say that. I knew you'd get me. We understand each other. Somebody trying to break your heart, that changes a person. Makes them want to do things they never thought they'd want to do. I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. You sit in silence as this man admits he's threatened to murder the soon-to-be mother of his child. A child whose birth he is currently missing and considering ditching to go have fun in New York. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed? Scarlet Hollow. Oh, the holler, huh? That's what they call the hollows up in the mountains, you know. I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up in the holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die. He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they've dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. You take the boiled peanuts. Nice, I love boiled peanuts. Glad they're going to a good home. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow, end of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. Disingenuous? At best, it's a kiosk, though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Sparrow. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. I'm so sorry for your loss, Tabitha. Yes, great, thank you. Let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. How are you holding up? Fine. Are you sure? You seem tense. You know you can talk to me, right? I went through something similar when my own mom passed. She tenses up even more at the mention of your mom before letting out a heavy sigh. Maybe it's a sore spot for her. You quickly apologize. I'm sorry. I know that's probably not what you're looking to hear right now. Look, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine, really. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you. A jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive. Each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. Cool, thanks. Let's just get the tour over with. Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. And on Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Even the cat looks angry. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. I might want to eat something other than PB&J this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online though, so I wouldn't be going with you. Sweet, thanks. Cool, good talk. Alright, what's next on the tour? Bathroom, follow me. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. Is that your cat? What's its name? Frou Frou. Do not try to pet her. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. You decide to follow Tabitha's advice. Shall we move on? The bathroom awaits. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights, it'll get easier to navigate these spaces. But for the time being, you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must if you must. It is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. Ew. Who exactly uses this bathroom? Guests. You aren't desperate enough for this. You know, on second thought, I don't think I need to go. You might as well try, since we're here. Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. Oh, God. You decide you aren't desperate enough for this and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. Book smart. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get here to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. What's with all the boxes? Old family stuff. What kind of family stuff? Unimportant family stuff. It seems a little... You spend a moment searching for the right word. Dusty. Wow. Sorry I'm not giving you the 5-star hotel treatment you so desperately seem to need. You can dust it yourself if you care so much. You can't think of anything else you'd like to say, but if there's one thing for certain, it's that you're not the sort of person who likes to, or who even knows how to, verbally end the conversations. You remain silent and wait for Tabitha to say something. I take it you don't have any other questions? Good. Follow me, I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. There wouldn't happen to be a library in the estate, would there? I'm not sure what else I should do with my time. There is, but as I said earlier, most of this building is off limits. And the library is in the west wing, which is extra off limits. You're better off heading into town. I'm pretty sure there's a library there. You know, we don't have to inherit our parents' bad blood. We can start fresh now that it's just us. Look, I'm sorry I've been testy since you've gotten here, but you aren't exactly one to talk. Clearly, you and I have very different opinions on hospitality. Maybe we can start fresh tonight. Just stay out of my hair until then, okay? I have work to do. Alright, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. Your cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you. You in this sprawling, decrepit estate. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have a little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you'd definitely do that. Just not right now. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Of course, you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. A possum lurks within. It is quiet but angry. You hold out your still dripping bag of boiled peanuts. The possum hisses in disgust, stiffens, and begins to drool, feigning death. You close the drawer. You might as well leave it be. You open the top drawer next. It's empty, as good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice clean bag, but there's no going back now. This must be an older relative of yours, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a few weeks ago, so that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only things louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds exactly like what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. It's a daunting task given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, a plate, and a knife. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. You squint into the darkness of the pantry. Behind the molded bread, a single book lies forgotten. A thin layer of dust collected on its cover. You pick it up. Both Calf's Brain and Aspic are unappetizing enough on their own, and you can only imagine how vile the combination of the two would be. What kind of person would call this their favorite food? No wonder your mom ran far, far away from this place. You close the pantry door as best as you can and turn back to the rest of the kitchen. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware, and oddly enough, the utensils. You grab a plate and a butter knife. All you need now is some jelly. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. This is the last ingredient you needed to make your PB&J. Time to close this fridge and get to work. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations, you can feed yourself. A job well done. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. The cat hisses as you draw near but remains firmly in place. This is clearly Frou Frou's spot on the counter. You back away from Frou Frou, trying not to make any sudden movements. This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? You wander further into the garden. It's quiet out here. You head back inside and close the door behind you. There's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. I love Pugs. She's so cute. Thanks, she is cute. Sure, most of her teeth have fallen out, and she's got a couple of weird growths, but for a 17-year-old pug, that's pretty good. That's gotta be really old for a dog, right? It sure is. She's about 84 in dog years. I'm hoping she beats the current record holder and makes it to 19. Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Isn't that right, Gretch? But where are my manners? Talking to you for this long without introducing myself? I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then, there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Yep, I just got into town today. Wow, I didn't think there would be anyone else coming. Are you staying with Tabby? How's she holding up? I haven't seen her since Pearl Ann passed, or for a while before that, now that I think about it. Is she always so, rough around the edges? Yep, that's Tabby for you. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind that she's still her same old grumpy self. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even though she'd probably never admit it. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everybody's known everybody else as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. Sure, why not? Awesome, let's go. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Well, you slide into the nearest booth, pretending that you didn't notice everyone in the diner gawking at you like they'd just seen Bigfoot. No need to be so shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone new wanders into town. Especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension, who you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town this size. Stella turns to Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, 2 policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances in your direction while whispering to each other. That must be Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yes, those eyes are unmistakable, that haunted look. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That must be Miss Tabitha's cousin. Oh, so that's why she looks so sad. I would look sad too if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you gonna finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Sigh. Why are the strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. What do you think? Another young'un looking for mine work? No way. Clearly don't got the stomach for it. That's got to be the boss' cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Pearl Ann. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Zax. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as lain to rest. If you'd have been around in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Rodriguez. He's right. Nastiest woman I've ever met. That Tabitha is a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every Scarlet burn in hell. That's enough of that. Hey, Stella. I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They quietly place a cup of coffee in front of Stella. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Anything for you. The name's Avery. I'll be taking care of you today. Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm, sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion. Is the potluck a church thing? Would it be weird for me to come if I'm not a member? No, the Sunday thing is coincidental. It's actually hosted by the library. Not too many people go to church around here, if I'm being honest. Isn't this like rural South? That's gotta be unusual. I know, we must seem like some such heathens. But there are plenty of God-fearing folks in town. They just aren't the biggest fans of the local church. Well, the building's okay, but the pastor's another story. There's just something a little off about the guy, a little creepy. You'll get what I mean if you ever meet him. And unfortunately, you probably will. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? I'll probably just do what I can to support Tabitha through this. That's really sweet of you, but knowing Tabby, I have to imagine that'll definitely still leave you with plenty of time to kill. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Thanks, Avery. It looks great. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. It's gonna make me hungry. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. This is the best biscuit you've ever had, but you're not too big on biscuits in general. I don't think I actually like biscuits. Like, I know this is a really good biscuit and I'd eat it again, but if this is the best the world of biscuits has to offer, consider me unimpressed. Aw, sorry to hear that. To each your own, I guess. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Haha, oh Avery, I'm not famous. You're the only person I know who's been on the news. If that's not famous, then I don't know what is. I'm a YouTuber. Cool, what kind of videos do you do? She hunts cryptids. You should really check out her channel, Sparrow. It's amazing. I think the best video to start with would be that river one, you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of the footage at the time, but it really wound up doing numbers. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella puts out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. From the shape of its body to the little pixelated ears sticking out of its head, you can definitely tell that it's some variety of big cat. Though they've long been considered extinct in the region, mountain lions used to live in these parts. Who's to say this isn't part of a remnant population? Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. Maybe it's a mountain lion. It's definitely got that predator shape and size, and there used to be a population in North Carolina. No, no way. It is absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions left this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found Jack squat, and there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. There's always people keeping those things as exotic pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Yeah, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. Gosh, all this talk about work reminds me how behind I am. Thanks for the biscuits, Avery, but I think it's time for me to blow this popsicle stand. Stella slides a tin towards Avery and squeezes out of the booth, Gretchen in tow. And see you around, Sparrow. Tell Tabby I'm around if she ever needs me. I should probably get back to it myself. Hope you have a nice stay, Sparrow. Hanging out with Stella managed to pass some time, but there's still plenty of daylight left. Maybe it's worth spending more time exploring the town. You wander into the quaint little general store. It's not as put together as some of the others you saw along your journey. It seems to reflect the state of the town with its meager offerings of dented canned goods and neglected tourist trap trinkets. It feels like an old place that is slowly limping its way to the modern day, lagging behind by just enough to be eternally unfashionable. The rundown country ambience clashes terribly with the goth woman behind the counter, who has been eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror. Oh my God! She was clearly trying to say it quietly, but of course you heard her. You're the only 2 people here. Hi, are you looking for something in particular? Hi, I'm Sparrow. I'm meeting everyone in town. Oh, sure, I'm Kanika. Thanks for giving me the chance to pretend I didn't recognize you immediately. You're probably going to get that a lot. The recognizing, I mean. Ugh, why does everyone have to know who I am? It feels like everyone's already formed opinions of me. I know exactly what you mean. Everyone here has known me since I was a baby, so it's like I'm a perpetual teenager to them. You're lucky your mom got out before you ever had to deal with that. I'd better get out too, before I become one of those old fogies sitting on her porch telling grown adults about something they did when they were 10. How do you get away with fashion like that in a rural southern town? What, like they're going to try me for witchcraft? Sure, I get weird looks sometimes, and there are definitely some ladies in town who have made it their job to save my soul, but there are way too many hippies in these hills for most people to be concerned about what I'm wearing. And my mom is Queen Hippie, so I'm probably the least witchy person I know. Everyone my mom talks to might as well be wearing a pointy hat and carrying a broom. What is there to do in town? I have a lot of time to kill. If you're looking for something exciting, you definitely came to the wrong place. The only restaurant we have in town is the diner. The only real place to hang out is probably the library. There's a gas station, for what that's worth. And there's a bar, but it's not exactly a place you'd want to go. It's a dive that's always full of minors. I'm pretty sure someone at the diner is throwing a party this weekend in case you want to go to a weird house party with a bunch of strangers the day before a funeral. If I were you, I would just wait out the week, read a book, and hope the days pass quickly, then go back to your life and forget you were ever here. It doesn't sound like you're very fond of this place. No, I'm not. I've spent enough time here for one lifetime. But getting out is always easier said than done. You feel like the first normal person I've talked to. If the only other person you've met is Tabitha, anyone would seem normal. I'll take the compliment, though. So, what do you think of Tabitha? That depends. Are you guys friends? I don't know. I just met her. Well, if she's been a little mean, try not to take it personally. That's just Tabitha. Good luck with her this week. I mean it. The stuff that she and Pearl Ann used to say about you, well, it doesn't bear repeating. My aunt used to talk about me? What did she say? If you really want to know, that you and your mom were stuck-up city people who thought you were better than the town. That your mom was for having you out of wedlock. That it's good your mom left because she was going to drink away the family fortune. She would just say anything. I never believed a word of it, because I heard what she always said about my family, too, and I knew nothing that came out of her mouth was worth anyone's time. I think most people in town knew that. However, Tabitha is not most people. I'm sure she believed it all. I don't envy you having to spend the whole week with someone who thinks so poorly of you. And she's just generally difficult to be around anyway. It was nice chatting. I'll get out of your hair now, but I'm sure I'll see you around. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you around. This town is like 3 streets wide. It looks like the sun's finally starting to set. Maybe you'll see if a sleepy southern town like Scarlet Hollow has a vibrant nightlife. Another day. But for now you feel ready to head back to the estate. You return to the dirt road, beginning the trek back up towards the estate. As the sun sinks deeper into the horizon, the sky is flooded with orange and pink hues, the shadows around you darkening and stretching out over the path. The mountains seem to make night come quickly here, their rounded hills blotting out the dying sun prematurely, casting the valley of Scarlet Hollow in an eerie autumn twilight. You've had a long day. Between traveling and meeting all these strangers, the dusty bed that waits for you back at the estate is starting to sound... You pause mid-thought. Something is standing in the tree line, watching you, trying to be very still. It's a cat, and a very big one. A mountain lion, actually. So much for the Appalachian mountain lion being a myth. A mountain lion can run up to 43 miles per hour, nearly twice as fast as the fastest known human athlete. I don't know which one to pick. I can see you there, you know. The creature continues to watch you from the tree line. It remains unsurprisingly silent. You begin walking backwards to town, neither you nor the thing watching you breaking eye contact with the other. The foliage in the tree line snaps and crunches as you walk, matching your pace. It would seem that the creature you've encountered is intent on stalking you. And then it emerges. It really is a mountain lion, and there is something horribly wrong with it. It takes yet another step towards you, drool leaking from its slack mouth. You start hurrying away, maintaining eye contact, but the sickly thing is desperate. It dashes after you with surprising speed, ears back and claws glinting as it closes in. There's a heavy thump as it connects. You find yourself tumbling forward, pitching over the side of the road and rolling downhill. It's disorienting. You find it to be almost impossible to stop yourself. The incline too steep, every attempt ending in more scratches and bumps from the rough terrain of the mountainside. You finally land with a breath-stealing thump in a small copse of trees, battered and bruised, bleeding from the thorny shrubbery, but not dead. It doesn't bother trying to hide now, leaping down into the clearing with killing intent in its wide yellow eyes, ready to finish what it started. And then the evening air is pierced with the sound of a gunshot. The mountain lion is gone in a flash, leaving a thin trail of blood behind as it disappears into the dark woods beyond the path. Damn, nearly had the thing. And I nearly had you too. Who the hell are you and what are you doing out here? Looking to get shot? What the hell was that thing? Mountain lion. Been after it all day. Wait a tick. You seem awfully familiar. He looks you up and down with his good eye. Ain't you that Scarlet kid everyone's been saying wasn't gonna show? I apologize for my brusqueness, and I'm sorry for you and Miss Tabitha's loss. You can call me Duke. No need to thank me for saving your life. Duke seems to think for a moment, glancing up at the darkening sky. You'd better not keep walking around on your own out here, not with that thing on the prowl. I'd hate to think anything might happen to you without me around to save your skin. Tell you what, tag along with me while I finish what we started, and I'll be sure to get you home safe. I'd wager Miss Tabitha would appreciate somebody looking out for you. There's something wrong with that mountain lion. It's probably got the cancer, had all them lumps. Doesn't mean it's any less dangerous. If I had to guess, I'd say it's more deadly than ever now that it sees death coming for it, as you well know. When's the last time you heard of a mountain lion attacking anybody, especially on this side of the continent? You're one of a lucky few, so don't ruin it by going off and dying alone in the woods after God did you a favor. I appreciate you looking out for me too. Thanks. Oh, don't mention it. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing I'd let somebody go off on their own in the dark with something like that prowling around after them. Stick with me and we'll make sure it doesn't get the chance to take a chunk out of anybody. I don't like the thought of a man-eater like that around my town. You and Duke make your way into the dark woods, following the trail of blood the mountain lion left behind. Before long, the sun has completely set, and the two of you find yourselves in near total darkness. Though Duke has a flashlight, he uses it sparingly, letting you both adjust to the starlight instead. Every sound feels deafening as the two of you pick your way through the underbrush. Every snapping twig could be the deadly paws of the thing that hunted you. Every rustling leaf the herald of a vicious attack, though you know deep down it's probably nothing but squirrels and shrews. Until you hear the unmistakable sound of something large shifting among the fallen leaves. Gotcha. The old man quietly steps forward, gun held at the ready. What the hell? Duke, you scared me. What are you doing out here so late? Stella, I'd ask you the same, but I'm sure I know what has you slinking around after dark. Do you know how close I just came to putting a hole in you? But you didn't. No harm, no foul. Hey, Sparrow, weird to see you out here so late. Does Tabitha know you're with Duke? Gretchen's little nose seems to pick up something she doesn't like. She thrashes in Stella's arms, whining threateningly. Whoa, calm down, girl. You know Sparrow. I swear it gets so hard to hold on to her when she gets like this. Sometimes it feels like she's only geriatric when she wants to be. It's all right, little lady. You're safe so long as you got your mama looking after you. Unlike you, Stella, if you decide to keep on doing whatever it is you're doing out here, I think you'll find these woods aren't agreeable tonight. Sparrow here had a run-in you wouldn't believe. So just go on home and save all this for some other night. Wait, a run-in? What kind of run-in? Was it supernatural? Like I said, you won't believe it. Now put that dang camera away. There was some kind of creature. It was like a cat, but big and covered in these lumps. Oh my god, that sounds scary. What kind of sounds did it make? You could have been dealing with a wampus cat. Don't encourage her. It wasn't no supernatural creature. It was just sick. You don't need to go looking for it, you hear? We'll have it taken care of soon enough, then you can make any videos about it you want. I'll be fine, Duke. I do this sort of thing all the time, and if there's an honest-to-God wampus cat out there, I need footage if anyone is going to believe me. Corpses are way too easy to fake. If you go on like that, they'll find that footage next to a pile of your bones in some long-dead creature's den 20 years from now. That would be so cool. No, it would not. Your mama and daddy are spitting in their graves hearing talk like that. If they ain't around to stop you, then I'll take on that responsibility. Go on, get! The old man shoos her away. Fine, fine, I'll go. Does that mean I should go with her, Duke? Hell no, there's half a chance she winds up in some kind of situation on her way back. Miss Scarlet would have my ass if she knew I'd let you get into a situation. Me? I would never. I'm definitely going to be responsible and head right home. Yeah, I'm sure, Sparrow. You stick with me, and you'll be all right, and we'll get you back to that cousin of yours in one piece. Don't you go getting into any situations either, Duke, and I'll see you around, Sparrow. With that, she's off. Damn, we've been stopped too long now. The old hip is starting to voice its complaints. There's an overlook just up this way. Let's sit a spell. I brought a few victuals along if you're peckish. You find your way along the narrow path and emerge on a rocky outcropping overlooking the dark forest. The sky above is smeared with stars, more than you have ever seen before. Duke interrupts the serenity of the scene with his old man grunts, folding his creaky joints as he settles in on a nearby log. He starts rustling through a small pack you hadn't noticed he was carrying, pulling out some beef jerky and a couple of beers. At least it's a nice night, even if the circumstances leave something to be desired. Help yourself to jerky, and as for the beer, I was planning on having both cans myself. but I suppose I can be convinced to spare one. I thought mountain lions were supposed to be extinct in the Appalachians. That's what they all tell me, but you saw it, and I saw it, and soon enough it'll be shot and everybody else will see it too. Then they'll stop saying how I'm telling stories or don't know what a damn mountain lion looks like. Seems like you and Stella go way back. What do you think of her? What do I think? I think she's a nice young lady and she's been through a lot in her short time on this earth. You can tell me more, I won't tattle. Ain't my place to say. That thing about her parents rolling in their graves, are they both dead? Yes, they are, God rest their souls. Is it just me, or does it feel like we're being watched right now? That's just nature. You'll get used to it. Should you be drinking in this situation? Isn't it dangerous? Oh, lighten up. It's just a Bud Light. It ain't moonshine. Anybody who gets drunk off a Bud Light is drinking it wrong. I find it helps keep my aim steady, lowers the nerves just enough to shake the tremor out of my trigger hand. Maybe if you had one, it'd calm your jitters. You take one of Duke's cold ones. It's more like a somewhat cool one after so many hours outside, but you crack it open nonetheless, offer him a gesture of cheers, and take a sip. It's cheap beer, but it's refreshing. It's watery, earthy taste mingling well with the crisp mountain air, putting you somewhat more at ease. See, ain't that better? Duke seems slightly more at ease now too, seemingly happy to not be drinking alone. About what you said earlier, why did everyone think I wasn't going to come for the funeral? That'd be Miss Pearl Ann's doing. She was never very kind when talking about your side of the family. Bless her heart, and God rest her soul, of course. But she told everybody your side of the family had sworn off Scarlet Hollow and everyone who lived here, so nobody around these parts thought we'd be seeing much of you. So, Duke, tell me about yourself. You want to know about me? I can't say I know what there is to tell. I've got a beautiful wife, Irma, who I love to hell and back, and we've got our boy, Bo, and our little farm. And our closest neighbor is that bastard, Julius Tremaine, but that's neither here nor there. Tell me, what's the biggest pumpkin you've ever seen? I've only ever seen them at the grocery store, so grocery store sized. Duke pulls out his wallet, flipping it open to a photograph of a very, very large pumpkin. Big Betty, my biggest yet. Bet you didn't know pumpkins could even get so big. Me and Bo are taking her down to the fair this week, aiming to take home the blue ribbon. You could make a pie big enough to feed the whole town with that thing. I would, only it don't taste so good. Irma does her best, but there's not much a giant pumpkin is good for besides animal feed. And for showing up all the other pumpkin farmers at the state fair, of course. I was wondering, how did you find me? I've been on that thing's trail all day. I've got myself a personal vendetta. It's been after my chickens. I've seen it around my property a few times now, and the next day I always have a bird or two missing. Those birds is like family to me. I raised them from eggs. They know me by sight, like I'm their daddy. So it means something to me when some creature sets their sights on my hens. That thing shoots to the top of my list of enemies. And I suppose it sees some commonalities between you and my chickens. I didn't expect to find a near stranger out there on the wrong end of that thing. But I'm glad I did, for your sake. I'll have some of that jerky. Damn straight you will. You take a laborious bite of the jerky, straining your jaws. It fights back, but you manage to tear off a leathery piece. It's not especially flavorful, but it is very satisfying, like how you imagine old-timey war rations might taste. You feel so much more like the kind of person I expected to find out here, like you really belong. You calling me a stereotype? I'm just joking. I know I picked up some habits that folks around here tend to pass around. At least I ain't on the meth. That's the next generation's troubles. I just chew my tobacco and drink my beer and leave it at that. I will say, though, things ain't like they used to be around here. Kids grow up online and lose their accents because they want to sound like somebody else. They move away and come back with a big head on their shoulders, talking down to their elders just because they went off and got themselves some expensive degree. At least my beau is a solid mountain boy. He'll be sitting on the porch with a beer watching the sun go down over the hills every night, same as every Calloway that came before him. He knows there's no shame in the country life. What do you think of Tabitha? You can be honest. You say that as if I would have a bad word to say about her. I think she knows the value of hard work, and I think she and your whole family have been the lifeblood of this town for longer than I've been alive. And they're the whole reason any new jobs come out this way that ain't just some tourist bullcrap. We have the Scarlets to thank that this place ain't just a glorified theme park like some other towns I could name. I don't want to be a local flavor character selling my produce at some cutesy farm stand to folks up from the city who think they want homegrown goods but get nervous if they see a brown spot. So I am grateful to Miss Tabitha, and will hear no slander to her good name. You open your mouth to speak, but before you get the words out, your phone buzzes in your pocket. You're getting a phone call. It's your cousin. Sparrow, where did you go? Are you dead? No, I'm just in the woods hanging out with this cool old guy. Cool old guy? Wait, the woods? God, no wonder your reception is so bad. You're coming through like you're in a blender. Who is that? Is that Miss Tabitha? There was a sound nearby, a scuffling, and then... What in the... Look, I don't know if you know this, since the big city only has trees with little fences around them or whatever, but wandering around the woods at night is dangerous. Get back to town. Now. Don't you worry, Miss Tabitha. We'll get Sparrow back to you safe and sound. I'll be sure of that. Tabitha, I promise everything's fine. I'll see you back at the estate. Everything does not sound... That must be my birdie. She's still alive. The call ends abruptly, the bad reception finally giving out. The old man takes a step towards the tree line. Get your thieving little hands off her. Duke charges forward, flashlight in hand, crashing through the brush. Damn, that thing is fast. Which way did it go? There is an odd sound nearby, though it isn't the sound of whatever the two of you were chasing. It's a human voice, and one you recognize immediately. It would appear that Stella didn't leave the woods after all. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but... Duke stops mid-stride to listen, his hearing evidently not quite as sharp as yours. Damn it, I know that voice. There appears to be some kind of growth. I've never seen anything like it. Geez, I hope I don't get demonetized for this. Stella, I swear to God, didn't I tell you to go on home? The two of you emerge into the clearing, revealing what Stella had been filming so intently. It's Birdie, her little chicken body panting desperate breaths as she lies in a crumpled heap at Stella's feet. Birdie, oh no, what's happened to you, sweetheart? Duke, I just found her like this. I think there's something seriously wrong with her. Stella, what are you still doing here? Sorry, it's my job though. It's investigative journalism. Investigative journalism, my ass. It's online rubbernecking, and if you give two shits about my birdie, you'll delete that footage. Did you see the thing that got a hold of her? I sure did. I got it on camera, too. I don't know what it is yet. A gnome or something. You know there ain't no such thing. There is something really wrong with all the animals we've seen tonight. No shit. It's like some kind of plague. It's better not to be contagious. It better not be contagious. You stoop down to look at the chicken. Poor little chicken eyes look up at you, glazed over, but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. At first you thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. She could still get better. Maybe she just needs that thing to pop and she'll be right as rain in a couple days. Happened to me once, and there's not so much as a scar these days. I don't know. It kind of looks like there's something in there. If you didn't know better, you'd say this could be some sort of parasitic growth, like a wasp laying eggs inside a caterpillar. Looking more closely, you think you can see something squirming inside. The wing is barely still attached, but that seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Whatever got a hold of her busted her wing up too, little bastard. Yeah, what a bastard. Having investigated to your heart's content, you step back and give the bird space. Do you think we should put her down? Maybe it's for the best. Something's wrong with your head? We are absolutely not putting her down. We're getting her help. As you, Duke, and Stella take stock of the situation, a sound begins to wrap around you, gently at first, barely a whisper. But then a guttural moan, and then another and another, until suddenly you find yourself surrounded by a chorus of groaning misery. What the hell is going on? The voices? Oh, I have no idea. She starts filming again. Come on, Birdie, let's get you home. As Duke scoops up the injured Birdie, the voices in the trees intensify. It's like you're all suddenly surrounded, with strange sounds coming closer, growing bolder. What in the hell is that? Don't you step another foot closer or I'll shoot. Don't think I won't. The man hesitates and the thing steps forward, fixing what seemed to be its eyes on Birdie tucked under Duke's arm. Gretchen starts making ungodly noises, screaming and howling along with the din around you. You and Stella turn just in time to see another of the creatures slithering out from the bush. Gretchen's whines and barks reaching a fevered pitch as another creature's malformed hands grasp at her. Oh my god! What's going on over there? As Duke glances back, everything seems to happen at once. A patter of unnatural feet and then chaos. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. Shit! Shit! Get your grubby little hands off my bird! You dive for Gretchen, attempting to snatch her away from the thing's misshapen hands. You manage to grab her, but the creature isn't deterred. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside something sharp and unnatural. But then, there is the deafening blast of Duke's shotgun, and suddenly it is gone. Duke? Oh my God, what do we do? Okay, first things first, I grab Gretchen. There, step 1 is done. Gretchen is safe. Great, okay, step 2. What's step 2? Oh my God, that man saved my life and he's gone. Yeah, okay. Deep breath, deep breath. We need a plan. Well, what if we chase after those things, get as much footage as we can? It's the only way anyone will believe us about what happened. We owe it to Duke. Are you nuts? A man is dead, Stella. Yeah, you're right. Let's head back and call the police. My phone should get reception once we're back at the main road. As you and Stella quickly make your way back through the woods, the unearthly whispers of creatures unknown once again surround you. You say nothing, continuing forward with a grim determination. We're almost there. You and Stella reach the main road and the whispers fade back into the sounds of nature. It sounds like they've stopped following us. I should get reception now that we're back on the main road. Let me find my phone so I can call the sheriff. Six missed calls from Tabitha. And 13 text messages. Yikes, Tabitha's been blowing up my phone. I guess she must be worried about you. But first things first, let's call the police. Stella pulls out her phone and dials. Hello, Earl? It's Stella Richmond. I'm up on the mountain at the Asgina Trail. Duke is dead, Earl. Shotgun. It happened right in front of us. There's something in the woods. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we're okay, but hurry. Jesus, Earl, who's going to tell Bo? I guess now we wait. It takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walk 2 officers, Sheriff Hugby, a friendly older man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses despite it being the middle of the night. See, right there, a thing jumps out of the woods and the shotgun goes off. What in Sam Hill? What is it, that some kind of Pillsbury Doughboy? Could have been a naked maniac. No, there was more than one. They chased us through the woods. Whatever they are, they aren't human. And they killed Duke. Uh-huh. Now we're going to have to confiscate this camera, Miss Richmond, if you don't mind. This is evidence. But Okay. Let me just turn it off to save the battery. You notice Stella pop something out of the camera and slide it up her sleeve. Here you go, Deputy Franklin. We appreciate your compliance with the law. We'll get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body, but for now, Sheriff Hugby and I... Please call me Earl. Earl and I will escort you, and... Who are you exactly? And is that a single Bud Light I smell on your breath? You shouldn't be drinking in the woods. That's Sparrow. She came into town today for the funeral. Sparrow, as in... Tabitha's cousin, yeah. Damn, didn't think you'd actually show. We'll escort you both back to town. If there's a naked maniac on the loose, it's best you don't walk back on your own. It wasn't a... Never mind. Why aren't you going out there tonight? There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack someone else. Well, it ain't exactly like old Duke was going anywhere at this point. He'll still be out there in the morning. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Monday nights are Deputy Derrickson's bowling nights. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, if you'll kindly step into the vehicle, we can return you safely to your home. Do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left. We'll be fine. I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist, for your own safety. Okay, thank you. You can ride up front with me, little lady. That is, if your mama permits. Sure, Earl. You can hold Gretchen on the way back to town. You are just the cutest little thing, Miss Gretchen. Yes, you are. Stella is quiet and stiff next to you, back rigid as she stares out the window, jaw clenched. Hey, Stella, you good? She doesn't respond. Reach out and rest your palm gently on her shoulder. She jumps slightly at your touch, but remains focused on the wilderness outside of the window. You sit quietly, watching the trees pass by in the light of the headlights. Every now and then you think you see a pale, anguished face staring out at you before it slips back into the darkness. Soon the rumble of gravel beneath the tires gives way to uneven pavement, and the car comes to a stop in front of a small cottage. You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. And you, whatever your name was. Sparrow. Sure, you're in town for the funeral. Good. Don't you go leaving before then. I imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. Stella, keep an eye on her for us. Make sure she doesn't get into any more trouble. Y'all have a good night now. Bye-bye, Gretchen, and y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Holy shit. Okay, so I know it's late, but I'm wound up. I know I, for one, need answers. It's a long shot, but my friend's mom was a weird hippie lady. She knows all about local wildlife and local myths and legends. Maybe she would have some idea what those things were. I say we go over and show her what we have. Are you with me? Where have you been? I've been waiting in town forever. Were you that lost? Tabby, great. We were just headed over to Sybil's. You should come with us. A lot happened out here tonight. It'll be better to explain it all at once. Duke saved my life, and then he died. Right in front of me. Wait, you're serious? Someone died? Yeah, the cops dropped us off down here. Well, if you already got the cops involved, I don't see what you think Sybil is going to do. Give you some weird tea about it? Doesn't sound super helpful to me. It was the circumstances. There were these things out there, Tabby. I can't even describe them. Like doughy gnome things. Oh, I see. So she's going to give you the secret gnome knowledge. Sparrow, I don't think we need to waste our time with that. I'm tired. And it sounds like you're tired. We're going home. I guess I'll see you later, Stella. I'll make sure to catch you up on whatever Sybil says, Sparrow. Here's my number. Let me know when you get back so I know you're safe. What, so you're friends now? You'd better not make problems for me all week, Stella. Tabitha doesn't wait for Stella to protest before starting back down the road towards her old BMW, towing you along with her. The night around you is blessedly silent, save for the comforting songs of crickets and your footsteps on pavement. There are no eerie, owl-like calls of pale, leering creatures disturbing the night's peaceful ambience. The things in the woods are nowhere to be found, at least for now. You and Tabitha step into her car. It feels like a lifetime since you've been in this seat, but the truth is, it's been fewer than 12 hours. The smell inside is oddly comforting, like there's some bone-deep recognition that she smells like family. Your cousin reaches for the headlights. Sparrow. You can ever so faintly make out the name tag on his jacket. Wayne. Welcome home. The figure steps out of the light, disappearing back into the darkness of the woods. Who was that? Why did he know my name? Just one of the miners being dramatic. Everyone here knows your name. I'm sure you've noticed that. It's not a big deal. He was covered in blood. You don't know it was blood. You saw him for 2 seconds. It could have been engine grease or some other dark fluid. Blood is the least likely thing for it to be. Don't freak yourself out over nothing. As she turns on the engine, her keys rattle, betraying the fresh tremor in her hands. She's just as nervous as you. You both ride in silence back up to the estate. The stars vaguely illuminate its hulking shape perched on the cliffside. Despite the warm porch light, it feels even more abandoned than it did during the day, its windows dark and lifeless. Well, see you in the morning. Why didn't you believe Stella? She wasn't lying. I know Stella, and I know the kind of things she says she sees, and I know how often she can convince other people they see it too. So yeah, I'm skeptical of the, what was it, gnomes? But hey, maybe her next video will come out and prove me wrong. There's a first time for everything. I saw them too. Do you believe me? I believe you even less than I believe Stella. At least I know she can mostly tell the difference between local wildlife and fictional creatures. Emphasis on mostly. You might as well be telling me there's a monster under your bed, but hey, it's not like you have to worry about it for much longer anyway. When the week is over, you won't have to concern yourself with whether or not there's something in the woods. You were pretty dismissive of that Sybil lady. Is there anything I should know about her? She's a hippie type, that's all. I wouldn't trust half of what comes out of her mouth. She was probably just going to tell Stella exactly what she wanted to hear, then give you tea about it. Waste of time. You sure you don't want to stay up with me for a little bit? We could talk. I've done enough talking. Good night. Tabitha doesn't so much as wave goodbye before heading up the stairs. You follow suit, climbing up the creaky stairs to your own waiting bed with its ancient dusty sheets. As you start to drift off, you remember that Stella asked you to let her know when you got home safe. You pull out your phone and call. Hey, how are you? She sounds a little different, a warble in her throat. Did you make it back all right? Tabitha and I saw someone weird on the way back. A miner, I guess? He knew my name, said some really creepy stuff. That's scary, man. I think I've got some interesting leads too. We could compare notes tomorrow. Until then, get some rest, alright? I'm glad you're safe. From the relative safety of this uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else. Though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a boring week in the mountains with your sour-faced cousin. It's a nice thought, but deep down you can't help but worry that things will only get worse.